Hello, and welcome to a Firefight Friday. I am filming this right before work on a Wednesday, because I will not be given an opportunity to film afterwards. I was going to record earlier, however, I had a giant argument with a new sound program, and I just got it working, so it might sound rough. I might actually have to record this again tonight, depending on how it goes, but Firefight Friday is a series where I basically play a PvE mode and just ramble about whatever's on my mind. And this week we have a new operation, which is mostly focused on Halo 4 stuff, which, not the biggest fan of Halo 4, not the biggest fan of Halo 4's aesthetic.
Firefight.
Yeah, it's just Halo 3 and Halo, like, the Bungie Halos kind of had a more grounded, like, armor. Well, those are kind of had a more, I could believe that they were, you know, sci-fi space armor more, like, that actually had a person in it. And very rounded edges, designed for combat. Like, they didn't have extruded points. You could tell, like, they're built for vision, with the exception of Halo Reach's Gunganir, which was kind of like, oh, you're playing as a cyborg, so you use a camera thing. But once 343 got in charge and started doing their armors, they started going for what looks cool, you know, sharp edges, weird visors. Even the base model of the armor became more of like a wetsuit with pieces attached to it.
This achievement
And
is almost too tremendous to process.
I'm not hating you if you like the newer Spartan looks, like the Spartan 4 looks. But to me, it just felt like they prioritized aesthetic before they prioritized practicality. And, like, for example, Fotis, actually one of the new armors that is in the shop for money this week, is just like a really sharp helmet with a giant horn on it, which would, like, not work in combat because it gives your opponent a place to grab you. And yeah, sure, it looks cool, but, like, to me, you don't want extra pieces to grab in combat. And I know it's a game, but, like, it's supposed to kind of be like, this is what... Oh, someone died. This is kind of what, like, the future armors and stuff for combat would be. Like, even if you look at the Helldivers armors, like, the Helldivers armors don't have things, like, you could grab besides the cape, which is kind of like their aesthetic, like your superhero cape shit.
Cinder shot available.
Weapon
But
drop.
there's nothing to really grab onto. There's nothing, like, keep it simple.
Set start.
Even if it's, like, mass producible, it makes more sense to me. But I think the weirdest part was when people would say, oh, the visors don't even make sense for the new helmets. The response was, oh, you don't actually look outside of the visor on any helmets. you're looking through a camera lens. Which, why would you make a giant glass, like tempered glass visor if you're looking through a camera? So by trying to explain these helmets, they also just made the other helmets that use the visor completely, redundant. And if you're using a camera instead of just the front of the helmet, wouldn't, being hit by a plasma pistol or an EMP blast disable your camera and blind you?
Deploying praise.
Granted, technically, if we want to get technical, an EMP blast should also disable the armor from moving at all. Maybe that's why they got rid of the EMP blast on the plasma pistol. It wouldn't make the suit function at all. I don't know. Just kind of rambling. But, just technology, it's usually best to do things safe and simple. It's one of the reasons I have a problem with Tesla cars, is because Teslas keep trying to reinvent the wheel, sometimes literally, just for the sake of saying, oh, we changed this thing that nobody else has changed. Look at how, technological future we are. When they'll do stuff like, oh, we're not going to have door handles. You're going to have automatic doors. Which is fine until you start thinking about safety, in which case you want something that's obvious and easy to access that doesn't have a fail point electronically. So if the battery dies in the Tesla, I don't know, say it overheats or something, and all of a sudden you can't open your car door, or you're underwater or something, it's simpler if you just have a latch or a lever. And that's why in NASA's technology, they don't do automatic things, they just have manual locks. Because manuals don't fail as much. Or you can secure something. I don't know, you can open a manual door even if you don't have power, but an automatic door you can't. And some people are going to say, yeah, Teslas have handles, but you also have to look for the handles. Sometimes, and they're in different places on every model. So sometimes you have to lift, sometimes you have to open the door, sometimes you have to lift the window power thing for an emergency latch, when in an emergency I'm not going to remember where exactly the model, my car model's handle is, especially if I'm in something like an Uber where I've never experienced that car before. It's simpler to have a door handle than to, the whole reason we have been developing car safety features, so they're not even felt, is so that safety is just natural.
Your team scored. Thunderstorm.
But I feel like car companies aren't doing that, and Tesla's not the only one. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta keep things simple. You wouldn't have an airbag that has to manually deploy, because that's gonna be not a safe feature. You have an automatic airbag. Usually a hard enough impact causes the airbag to just go off. But if you had to press a button to enable an airbag, you might as well not have an airbag. I don't know, I'm rambling, and I'm not really a car person, but something just bugs me about people who want to reinvent things that just work. like for, I know it's like a 20-year-old game, but one of the better examples is a game called Too Human. If you have an Xbox, you can download it for free. I would not recommend it. It is a very bad game. However, most games have
Incredible work.
the controls where the right stick moves the camera. And this game decided to make the right stick, instead of moving the camera, be attack buttons. And so every other game has you trained to move the camera with the right stick. But you can't move the camera in this game. And so now you have to relearn how to actually play this game. And it's only like this game that does that. And yeah, it's different than everyone, but like it makes people enjoy your game less because they feel like the controls are not natural.
You've earned this.
Wow, they are really taking out those dropships. And yeah, it's basically we don't have to reinvent everything. Where are the last guys at?
Remaining. 2 enemies remaining. Last enemy. Mythic.
All right.
On. Weapon drop.
But yeah, Halo 4 has its issues with the armor, but again, that one's just my opinion. Some of them look alright.
Set. Start. Hill incoming.
What are you? Oh, you're not focusing on anything. At least Halo 4's aesthetic isn't Halo 5. I like Halo 5's aesthetic even less. And Halo Infinite kinda does both the Bungie aesthetic, and like basically every Halo game's aesthetic is like in this game. And so you get to kind of pick and choose what aesthetic you want to use for your armor. Like I'm using a Halo 3 armor helmet, Mark IV, which is I guess it was designed by Bungie, but it's either that or Ensemble. I forget which one actually developed the Mark IV. But like my shoulders are, I think they're just native to Halo Infinite. But overall, the armors are mainly just there for fun. There's some Halo Infinite armors I don't like, mainly the Fracture armors, which aren't even canon anyway. I specifically hate the Chimera, just because it looks weird to me. I don't know what aesthetic it's going for, but it's also the one with the smallest hitbox, so whenever you watch professional play, you will see Chimera with like all of the robot arms and robot legs, and trying to make your hitbox as small as possible. And honestly, I think that the armor shouldn't have different hitboxes, but that's just me. Alright, there. 2 enemies remaining. That seems to be the end of this round, so hopefully I will see you next Friday, where I will be rambling something new. And yeah, have a good weekend. And bye.